Hey guys, it's quote unquote your boy, Ballface 8020, back with another great response video. First, I just want to say that I am not happy at all with how poorly my MGTOW critique video did. You know, from the analytics, the click-through rate isn't actually that bad. It's actually, it's decent. It's like in the 9% range, which is where I like it to be. But it's not getting any impressions. So I'm not blaming you guys for not watching it or anything because it seems like it's just not getting a lot of exposure. If I could get more people to see it, then as long as I kept up that, kept the click rate up through that 8 to 9% range, I'd be fine. I don't understand why it's not getting more impressions. Um, there's nothing you guys can really do about that. I guess what I would say is if you know anybody who's interested in MGTOW, make sure to show them that video because I think it's a really good video and I want more people to see it. Um, anyway, I wanted to do some more content. And like I said, response videos are a good lazy way to make content and that to help me kind of get back in the flow. Um, also, response videos are the most popular, so hopefully people will actually watch this one. Um, so yeah, this is, you guys know that if you've seen my other videos that like I consider myself black pilled, but there's some people might say, I mean, on short cells, I've definitely been accused of being blue pilled. I don't mind when people accuse me of it. I feel like when black pillers accuse me of being blue pilled, that means I'm doing something right. What I don't like is when I get accused of being red pilled. That is something that I do not appreciate. Most people don't say that, but I've definitely had people call me red pill before. It's tough talking to hardcore black pillars because they can. Well, I mean, if you've seen any of the threads, you know how they can be. So anyway, look, I consider myself a black pillar. You guys, if you're watching, probably consider me a black pillar, but I'm not pure black pill. I'm a mixture of black and blue, and I want to give that black blue uh, response to this question because I saw this thread on short cells and just tell you guys what I think. And if you guys already read my response on short cells, well, here it is again. So anyway, I'm just going to read it out here. My fiance, a 29-year-old male, is considering breaking up with me after learning about and she's saying that she's 26-year-old female, sexual history, and I don't know what to do. All right, so I'm going to read this as quick as I can. I've been together with a man I'll call Mark. Okay, first of all, she's saying I'll call him Mark. Why is she spelling it with a C? Is he German or something? It's Mark is spelled with a K. We're in America. Speak English. Anyway, for 3 years now, and we got engaged just 2 months ago. I loved this man so much, and I wasn't gonna. Okay, so she's just gonna say that she's in love with this guy. She doesn't, but now she's things are going bad and whatever. So anyway, he works in tech out on the East Coast, and but anyway, she's going to say in this paragraph that in college she had been basically, a big. I'm trying to think of it. She'd been very loose in college and had done lots of kinky stuff with tons of guys. So anyway, this guy that she got with, Ben, in college, happens, cool, like small world, to be working with Mark, and he saw her photo on Mark's desk. So then, he initially hadn't said anything, but he gets drunk at this Christmas party and then tells tells Mark like, hey, yo, I got with your girlfriend in college, and also then she was actually a huge slut in college and slept with tons of guys. So now I'll start reading. What happened? This is Mark's reaction. That night, Mark came home and he was simply furious. He first gave the gist of the conversation and asked if it was true. I started to tear up right away and said it wasn't all true, but some parts were. What exactly did this Ben guy tell her? I mean, like it's her count's over 30, and we're gonna hear some other stuff. And like, so what exactly did Ben say that wasn't true? Like, I mean, it must have been. I mean, he must have said. He must have really painted a bad picture of her. Anyway, Mark calmed down a bit, but asked me some specific questions. One was the number of guys I had been with, and I said it was over 30. He seemed so shocked, but I pointed out that I never lied. He never asked me. He also asked me if I had done anal, which I said I had. At that point, he straight up called me a liar since we had talked about trying it before, and I said I wasn't comfortable. but that is the truth. I did it a few times in college, but it felt a bit degrading now, which is not how I wanted to feel with the person I love. Okay, so Mark is just enraged. He leaves and goes and stays in his rental property. I guess he's pretty rich because he's got some unoccupied rental property. And he said he wasn't calling off the marriage right now, but he needed some space to think. And she's saying she's really hurt because she's been loyal to Mark and she absolutely didn't lie to him. He just never asked about this shit. And she wants to be with him and she's committed. And so let's go to the last part. TLDR. I had a wild phase in college that my fiance learned about from a coworker. Now he's threatening to leave me, and I'm just very confused about how I can even try to address the situation. Now, my guess is I don't even need to tell you guys how, like I said, this was posted on Short Cells, which is, a black pilled incel board. I don't even have to tell you guys what the reaction was. It was mainly pretty euphoric, saying like that this girl thought what was coming to her for being a slut, because there's a lot of bitterness in the incel community towards more promiscuous women. I mean, I know that there's some bitterness there towards women in general, but definitely towards promiscuous women. So here's, even though I consider myself black pilled, here's what I think. I don't think this girl is a bad person. I mean, based on what we've seen, I don't think that, because the black pill response is going to be like, oh, she's had her fun and now she's going to this poor Mark guy to just be beta bucks. But I don't think that's it. She says in the video she's from some repressed religious community. So she goes to college and it's a whole new world for her. She's young and really stupid at 18 years old. She gets in with like all of a sudden she's being like, getting all this attention from guys and stuff. She's seeing girls around her be wild and stuff. She doesn't know any better. So she starts really, whoring it up. And at first she's young and maybe she didn't feel good about everything she was doing, but she's, like women especially, but young people really, but young women super especially are very easily influenced by what's going around them. So she sees all this stuff like, oh, all my friends are whoring it up, people are whoring up, that's good, it's getting me attention from guys and stuff like that. So she's really into that. And she realizes, she does this for 4 years or so, but she eventually realizes this is empty. This isn't what she wants. This is just, like she says in the thing, it's degrading, it's unfulfilling, and whatever parts of it she did enjoy, she got out of her system. She is ready. She's ashamed of it. She's ashamed of it, and she wants to move on with her life. So for her, it's done. It's in the past. So she meets this guy, and like I said, she's ashamed of it. She starts dating with him. He never asked her, so she just doesn't say anything because to her, this is all ancient history. It's got nothing to do with who she is. Now, this Mark fella, we don't know the total story with him. My guess is he is a little bit more on the beta side, and one of the comments even said in the response to it on the initial relationship advice thread, said like he may feel some resentment because he knows that in your prime, in that 18 to 22, when you were in your looks prime, he knows that you would have rejected him then. So now he feels like, not only has he been lied to, but he's a sucker, stuff like that. So okay, first of all, let me just talk about it from Mark's perspective. And I think that's the first thing. I have got no problem with Mark being angry. I've got no problem with Mark being shocked and not knowing how to react to this, because this is stuff, like he didn't ask, but he didn't think he needed to ask. Like he had no idea that his girlfriend was this love of his life with some mega whore in college, because she's probably not that person anymore and never gave that vibe to him. So and I'm going to go beyond that. I'm saying, like, let's say when she had first met Mark and started dating, if she had right then and there had said, like, look, I just want to be honest with you about my past. Like, I was very loose in college. I slept with many guys. I did anal a few times. I'm really ashamed of it. It's not the kind of person I am anymore. But if we're going to move forward, I need to be honest with you and let you know. If she had said that, and then he had said, oh, well, you're you're a slut and I'm not interested anymore, my reaction would just be like, all right, well, fuck Mark. He's an idiot and you're better off without him. The thing is, she put him in a very difficult situation by not saying anything. And I know she didn't mean to. So he goes like he has to hear this from some friend, feels like he probably feels humiliated from a friend because he finds out some coworker of his, he's getting some sloppy seconds of her. Also, he doesn't even know who this girl is anymore. He feels like she didn't tell me. And then there's the this is actually the two things is the anal thing. Apparently he had discussed doing anal with her. I mean, full disclosure, I think that's gross. I know I'm going to get accused of sour grapes that I can't find a girl who's into that, but I'm sorry, I just don't see the appeal. And I'll honestly, I see a guy even asking about it. I see it as kind of weird. But a lot of guys are autistic and they don't know any better. But anyway, he had discussed this with her, and she just said, I wasn't comfortable with it. And that's where you get really close to, I mean, not even really close. That is by her just saying I'm uncomfortable with it is a lie by omission because she's essentially saying, oh no, I never did anything like that. Like and she's implying that I've never done anything like that. And the so that's where I can understand him being really pissed. But on the other hand, the thing is, it would have been so easy for her to say to say that like, oh yeah, no, this is true. I did sleep with tons of guys in college, but the anal, no, I never did anal. And yet she does not only should she not say that, she admits she did it several times, possibly quite a several times. The we don't know. She just said a few, but anyway, she admits that she didn't have to. That shows me she's being honest. She's trying to be honest, and she didn't mean to deceive him. Just like I said, she's ashamed. She wants to move on, and she just didn't realize it was a big deal. So here's what I think. I think she was wrong not to tell him straight up. I think that she comes from a sheltered background. She's naive, and she thought because it was in her past that it wouldn't be an issue in the relationship, just because after all, she said she didn't lie. I think she was wrong to not be upfront about him, but I also think it's an understandable mistake, and she deserves another chance. So I guess you could a more black pill look at this would be like, haha, like if you get a girl in your 20s, you're just beta bucks, and after she's had all her fun whoring herself out. But you have to keep in mind that younger people don't really make very good decisions, and they might try that lifestyle and realize it's just empty and really hedonistic. And let's be honest, like a lot of guys, I mean, let's be honest, every guy, a lot more guys than girls would have been doing this kind of lifestyle if they could get it. And, now you got guys like Ruth V, who slept with I don't even know how many women. And, he says, that he's done with it now. He's banned all talk of pickup from his site because it just hasn't made him happy. So is he beta bucks? No, he just grew out of it and realized it was a mistake. And this is why, there in the past, we tried to protect young people, particularly young women, from making really stupid life decisions. And, so she made a mistake. She made a mistake with her lifestyle, which she lived in college wasn't right for her. Not right for really anybody, I don't think. She should have been more upfront with Mark about it. But I also, think that now that Mark I hope that now that he's got some time to think about it, he'll get over it and say, like, you're right, the past is in the past, and I appreciate you being honest with me when confronted about it, but let's just be honest with each other from here on out. So call me a simp, call me a blue pill cuck, whatever. That's how I feel. See you in the next.